Well, guys, it looks like Southwest Florida has some of the highest rates of unoccupied homes in the entire country. We're seeing a lot of interesting numbers out of a Fox 4 report that we'll go over here. Also want to talk about the great delisting that is continuing in the push to move into the rental market for a lot of these homes, which, as we've mentioned before, I don't know if that's the greatest idea. Also going to touch on this curfew in Wellen Park, because that's kind of coming out of left field. Really surprised a lot of people. A lot of opinions on it. Want to get yours as well. But starting with the delisting, there's an article here basically highlighting that around Cape Coral specifically, massive amounts of owners are pulling their homes off the market. If you saw my monthly review, you'll notice that Cape Coral did have an extremely large drop in active inventory. It's not uncommon for this time of year because people don't technically or typically list right around now, but it was a lot steeper than it was anywhere else in the Southwest region that we looked. So we're going to have to see how the monthly numbers shake out and look in that regard as well. But I'm seeing it in the stats. They're reporting it in the media. We know this is kind of how things are going right now. So going to be an interesting fall. We're pretty much almost 2 months away from coming back into selling season here. We'll see how it shakes out for Cape Coral. So with this delisting article, they interviewed a few local agents who are basically saying the rental demand is coming back. So a lot of these delisters are opting to rent their house out. I don't know if the rental demand's coming back. I don't know if I would do that in the Cape Coral area. Last I checked, the rental market was heavily saturated for years at this point. So, but maybe it makes sense. One of the agents that they have advising people or their sellers to just rent it out, bro. They quote, is a teacher and a part-time real estate agent. Take that for what you will. The other agent they have in here is listing homes for sale for rent at the same time. And I think that's also very dangerous because it's going to add to the rental supply. And I don't know a lot of renters that are going to be too eager to rent a home that the seller clearly wants to sell. They clearly want to get rid of this house. So how long, even if you get a year lease, how long are you going to be in there? If you do a seasonal, like a 6 month, they're going to probably try to sell at the end of that. Or they may keep it on the market the entire time it's rented and try to sell it as an investment property. And now you're going to have to deal with people coming in and looking at the home while you live in it. So I don't know if that's the best strategy either. My advice all season has been price it to sell. Some people feel delisting's better. Some people feel renting it out's better. My personal opinion is price it to sell and be done with it. But who knows? We'll see what happens because rates dropped a little bit. And like I told you guys, people got emboldened again. By the way, I am in Fort Myers, North Fort Myers here today, guys, at Del Webb Oak Creek. If anyone is wondering, I am doing a final walkthrough for some customers and they're getting the warranty information, and my son is getting a little spicy. I got him with me. So trying to keep him even keeled while they get that done and we give it the final once over. But super excited for them. Just a great house with an absolutely killer view. Back onto topic here, the vacancy rate of homes across Southwest Florida. Again, this is coming from a Fox 4 report that I'm going to link in the description because they quote a study, but they don't link to it. And I couldn't find it either. But hey, you're reporting it, so let's go over it. It says basically, Southwest Florida communities face some of the highest vacancy rates in the nation. The Naples, Marco Island area has about 31% of its homes sitting empty. That's 79,000 properties. That's crazy. I'm reading my notes off his carriage here, so apologies if I keep looking down. Now, this is a study, according to them, from Leave the Key Home Buyers. But again, I can't find this, but this is what they're reporting. So many properties are sitting empty in that area with only a 61% occupancy rate for the short-term rentals there. Half of the top 10 metros are in Florida. Half of the top 10 metros that have the highest vacancy rates are in the state of Florida. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, where I am today, coming in with 27% vacancy rate. 27% of the homes in Cape Coral and Fort Myers are sitting empty. That's out of 465,000 homes that they counted, 127,000 of them have nobody in them currently. And not to be left out, Punta Gorda is actually on here as well. They're in 6th place for the top 10. Again, with 27% of the homes sitting vacant there as well. And I will link this in the article, guys. But like I said, can't really find the numbers of this study at least. So what confused me about this article is they don't specify really what the point of this study was. Is this a way of indicating, because they keep referencing short-term rental occupancy rates. Is this the way of indicating this is how many investors we have here, 27 to 30% investment homes? But then they also continuously bring up seasonality and snowbirds. So I don't know. There's no distinguishing metrics to say who these belong to. And again, I can't find the study. So it's just weird. Like sometimes these articles come out and I'm like, what's the point of this? I don't know. I don't really know what this is supposed to mean or what this data shows, because it's not explained. So I would love if anybody can find clarification on it. Let me know in the comments, because I could not. So let's talk about this Wellen Park curfew, guys. Apparently, come 9 p.m. in downtown Wellen Park, you are no longer going to be allowed to be out unless you are accompanied by an adult or over the age of 17. This is something they just recently instituted, and it's getting a lot of pushback, at least online. Also a lot of support. So I'm a little surprised because Wellen Park is pitched as a family-friendly atmosphere, family-friendly location. And it's a mixed bag from what I've seen in the comment section on, some of the older people are like, good, this is what I want. People with young kids and families are like, well, what are they supposed to do? Now, what I can gather is this stems from some kids gathering at Publix, which I'm not even sure is under downtown Wellen Park's jurisdiction, and maybe harassing people. They're hanging out there. I mean, I hung out in like Kmart parking lots and stuff. And we got a little rowdy. I get it. But there's a lot more eyes and cameras on everyone these days. Back in the day, your parents didn't really know what you were doing. So do I agree people should be harassed while shopping? No. Do I know if a curfew in a family-friendly area like that, or at least that's how it's pitched, is reasonable? I don't know. You guys let me know. I can't see how this is enforceable. Who is going to enforce it? Is it a Northport PD thing? Like I know Wellen Park, that's privately owned downtown. It's really interesting. Not something I saw happening. And I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, that's going to do it for me today, guys. If you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.